Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, God of Heroics, and today we're talking about the Fantastic Four. Not this Fantastic Four, but this Fantastic Four. The Fantastic Four that the MCU is officially bringing to the big screen. July 25th, we are going to be having the Fantastic Four First Steps movie coming out. And we got our first trailer today, first teaser trailer, but there's a lot of information in this trailer, and I kind of just want to go over a little bit of that today. So if you like these type of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified to all future uploads. I'm trying to expand and talk about a little bit more than just the news about, Marvel Rivals, a video game, and Sparking Zero. I do want to talk about a little bit more stuff that I am interested in that is still very much on brand, but, want to expand it a little bit just so we can have more to talk about than just one or two games. Anyway, the first teaser trailer came out today, and this is, officially uh, what their logo is going to look like. Well, what the movie logo is going to look like, and we get to see pretty much everything about the first family that made them very awesome, very cool, very demure in the OG comics. Seems like we're going back to like the roots of the comic book series. For one, the Fantastic Four seems to already be established, though we do seem to be getting a little bit of backstory here and there. Like they do show off the different members in their spacesuits before they actually hit their space exploration, and they do talk about a little bit of what happened in those explorations. And Reed seems to be having some kind of a little bit of a crisis, emotional crisis, talking about, like our family's not the way it used to be. I can stretch now. You turn invisible. Talking to Sue, saying like Ben is just made of rocks, and Johnny sets on fire. But Sue is telling him, that these are not necessarily bad things. She's like, Ben has always been a rock, like kind of like a foundation for our family. And Johnny's still Johnny. He's not too different of a person. And she's like, and even though I can turn invisible, I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. And I think it's pretty cool, like sending a little family message within the movie. But that aside, we do see another member of the family, Herbie, who we see, here in Marvel Rivals because he pushes the payload in Midtown, and he's also on the main screen now with the rest of the family in their car. Speaking of the car, it is also here. It's not the floating payload that Herbie pushes, but it's nice to see it. And we do get a nice little look into what the Fantastic Four used to be in the comics. These suits that they have don't look so high tech the way it is now, where their suits are basically made of unstable molecules that adapt to their powers, kind of like wearing stem cells in a way. But we see these nice little designs. They look very much akin to how they used to look, where it's like a nice little put together fabric. I think it's a very cool change to the MCU because pretty much every character's outfits in the MCU have just been mostly tech based, aside from the more magical characters like Doctor Strange. So I do like that we're getting more into how the comics used to be, where characters just seem to be wearing pretty much just what spandex or other like fabrics, loose fabrics here and there. And to be honest, it does look nice. You see their suits. Everyone has their own individuality in their suits. Um, Ben's boots aren't the same as everyone else's. Johnny has his nice little black and white stripes on his gloves, and it's like get the racing stripes all the way up to his neck. Reed is more blue than white. He doesn't have the stripes. Sue has the white collar but not the stripes, and Ben has the stripes and the collar but not the gloves. So everybody's suit is a little bit different, but it's enough to be uniformed. Also, like I said, the Fantastic Four is already established here, and this is proven by the fact that these kids in this scene during the city being destroyed scene, probably the city being destroyed scene, it shows right after there's like this huge meteor shower in the movie trailer. But these kids have merchandise. They're all wearing the merchandise. This kid has a sweater. That kid has a shirt. The kid also has a shirt. But they all have masks based on the thing. So not only are the Fantastic Four established, but nobody is afraid of the thing. Which is a huge part of his character. A lot of people, kind of feared him when he first came on the scene because he just looks like a rock monster. But it seems like we're he's starting a little bit after that, where they're already established. Everyone kind of loves them for how they are. I can't say like what year this is set in as far as the movie's timeline, but I'm sure that they'll tell us because with the idea that they're going back to the roots of the comics, this might be something that happened years ago, maybe sometime after Captain Marvel, but before like all the really big hitter movies like Iron Man and all that. But who knows? They might have just been established thing back then. Maybe that's like when their story started, and now this is like what's going on currently. Who knows? Anyway, we do get to see the Baxter Building. The family is giving this gentleman a tour of the building. I assume this is sometime like way after this building's constructed, and they've lived here for a while. And I don't know who this guy is, but they're giving him a tour. Just showing off the place. And Reed tells him that they like to have family dinners 7 on every Sunday. And I don't know if this is gonna be like a one-off thing or super important to the story, but we'll see when we actually get to see the movie. We get a nice scene of Human Torch flying. We get a couple of those actually. We get a transformation scene, and then he takes off, and then we get just a regular flying scene. And what I find most interesting is this right here, the way Sue Storm's powers are being displayed. As far as I saw in the trailer, Reed is the only one whose powers are not shown, by the way. We don't get to see him stretch, but to be honest, his stretching might be the same as what they did with John Krasinski's version in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie, where it's just stretching. So I don't know if they're just gonna show it stretching like his body's gaining infinite mass, or stretching like his body can't be stretched thin like it does in the comics. But we'll see when we get there. I would prefer the latter because it looks more elastic if you do it that way. But anyway, the way her powers are displayed are really cool to me because Sue Storm, her powers are, it's basically she's using psionic energy to bend light, which is how she turns invisible. You're bending the light around her to make herself invisible. And she also bends light to build like shields and her little bubbles, all that stuff that she throws, her projectiles and whatnot. So I like that when she starts using her powers here, you can see like the refraction of light within her abilities. It's kind of a cool way to show it without showing it really. Like, you get a little bit of a warp effect here, but then you also have the bending of light to really kick it off, show you like, yeah, this is what her powers actually are. And I think that is like the best way to really show it off. One of the more creative ways also is better than just putting up some purple barrier like they did in the previous movies. Really like it. And to top it all off, we get to see who the big bad of this movie is. Not anything super crazy because it is the Fantastic Four, so they have 2 primary enemies, Doctor Doom and Galactus, and we get to see Galactus. Doctor Doom is going to be coming in Avengers Doomsday, and I assume the Fantastic Four are going to be relevant in that, which is a huge part of why their movie's coming out now. But right now we do have Galactus, and we don't get to see like his face and his body or anything, but we do see that he does have his iconic helmet, so he's not just gonna be a cloud of smoke like he was in the previous movie, or the original movie rather. But yeah, so excited for that. I really do want to see how he looks. I want to hear his voice, and I actually do want to see who's playing him and like how all this is going to come into play. I do remember them saying that there was going to be a female Silver Surfer, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It is what it is. If I could find an image of it, it will be here. If not, then it won't be here. And in addition to that, I do want to see what their plans for Victor are, because if they are going to be having a version of Doctor Doom in the MCU, I do want to see how it ties into the Fantastic Four, if it does at all. But anyway, that's going to be pretty much it. That's my breakdown for the trailer, and that's everything that I'm excited for. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.